What does MAGA mean to you then? So Make America Great Again, what does that mean to you?
The America I grew up with. We want it back. We want people to stop censoring us. We want them to stay away from our Second Amendment. We want freedom of religion. So if you're a conservative, if you're a Christian, if you're white, you're male, it doesn't matter what color you are. We want people to be respected for who they are. We don't need to have stones of infinity stones because you're black, you're gay, you're trans. We just want everybody to be treated equal. And they're trying to say that we're the party of the racist party when they're the ones actually wanting Jim Crow rules back.
In what way?
So I think this is important to be able to define what these things are. And I said I'm a nationalist, I'm a populist. I don't even put MAGA in there. And this is why. To me, I'm not against this dude. Please don't get me wrong. But I want a more concise answer than that. And to me, MAGA is the populist right. So if they ask me, well, what is MAGA? Well, I'll say the mantra is God, family, country. But more specifically, it's a group of people who believe that power should be distributed to as many people as possible. You need a concise, I agree with everything this guy said, but I think we need a more concise definition of the term. So then, and that goes for me too, because I'm very anti the country over there. I just have to think of different names for it because I'm just saying that. But you can't define yourself by what you're not for. So if you define what you are for, very concise, you got to make it more broad than that. It's for distributing power. That's what 2A is. That's what the First Amendment is. That's what he's talking about. It's distributing power. That means what? Give me whatever power the government has. If the government isn't distributing that to as many people as possible, then it's failing. And MAGA is a movement to ensure that the government does that. That's what I would say.
Well, colleges, they want to have black and white graduations. They want to separate us.
That's fine. See, that's why I actually don't agree with that. Yeah, I don't like if I owned a college, I wouldn't do that. But I think it should be up to the college. The power should be distributed to as many people as possible. If the college wants to do segregated, I think that's fine with it. I think the problem is the federal funding to it, but just to say in general. So I actually don't think that should be the mantra. Those terms should be acceptable.
Where do they want that?
What colleges?
Oh,
man, look.
Oh, I'd have to look it up. I don't remember off the top of my head, but it's not just colleges. We had in Denver, there was this school that I think they canceled it before they actually did it. It was like I don't know what terms they don't use colored people anymore. It's like oppressed minority night out or something like that. I forget what the actual terms were.
Okay, I don't know. Google it.
Make America Great.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I don't need to. Yeah, let's look it up. I mean, asking him which college doesn't prove that he's wrong. We know for a fact. I mean, this has been going on. It got heavy in 2020.
Again, what does that mean to you? What's the again?
To me, the again means that we have somewhere safe where we can have those freedoms that we are so lucky to enjoy. There are so many people throughout the world that do not have what we have, and it is a blessing. That's why we have people that want to be here, and we will fully encompass all of that greatness again.
When do we?
I like what she's saying, but I think it's a fair question. What does the again mean? Was America ever great? Why was it great? And it's a great question. I talked with Jen, friend of the show, about that. She said, I like Make America Great. She doesn't like the again. I definitely understand. I will say again because I think America had a better culture. Forget about outside. I define culture as everything outside of politics, directly political. The culture, and I played that video with Eric July talking about the 90s, the culture was much better. And then that goes back to the previous guy where he's talking about, well, race relations were better. The pro-black movement was actually pro-black, and it wasn't a fake anti-white movement. And then you can even go back to the 50s where one household could afford, Very often it was the man working, could be at a factory or wherever else, but at least at a factory, you had your house, one income, kid, white picket fence. Not everybody in the country, but that's what you want to get back to. And it's not like MAGA's trying to segregate that to only white people, but that's what it really means is our culture is deteriorating. It's not even political, because a lot of it was political ignorance. Now we have the internet, so we know of these atrocities and we know what's in these bills. We can look them up very quickly now, and we have AI to analyze them. So I don't have a concise answer to that other than I have to get in more details other than it, for me, it's a cultural thing. Making America, the politics have never been great. I mean, you've had pockets of Andrew Jackson, who was a good populist, and Teddy Roosevelt and others, but it's a cultural thing. Our culture was better than it is right now. Music, entertainment, everything.
The last habit if it's again.
I feel like we did have that when President Trump was in office. I feel like we can work with what he built on in the first presidency and make it even better.
When he was running in 2016, it was before he'd even been president, but he was still saying make it great again. Again from when?
That is a good question. I would say if I could guess, it would be, and I think that they're very politically lined up, would be maybe with JFK. And when he was president and what we embodied with some optimism and freedoms that we didn't have before, and trying to find that.
When was America last
I don't
great?
know what the freedom part is, but I have no problem with her saying, yeah, that's a good question. I haven't thought about it.
4 years ago or 3 years ago.
Well, he was saying it before he got there. He was saying make it great again. So he didn't think. What did that message mean to you then?
I felt President Reagan was an excellent president too.
See, for me, it doesn't define Reagan, but it's whatever you want it to be. But no, it's definitely not Reagan for me. It's a bigger picture. It's nothing political. It's a bigger picture.
And nobody between Reagan and Trump.
I am not a Democrat, so.
Well, you had George Bush there, and you had George Bush's son.
No.
He was right, yeah.
No. It's not about Bush. I mean, she can say whatever she wants, but obviously not about Bush's.
But I still liked President Reagan.
Make America great again. It's been his mantra since he's run in 2015. What does that mean? What is again? When was America great?
Well, that question right there says everything that I need to know about you, that you don't really think America was ever great at any time. I think America was great. The spirit, the whole purpose for America was about the American spirit, coming here and making something for yourself and having the opportunity to do that for yourself, to work hard. And that's what America is all about. So the people that hate America will always say, well, when was it ever great? It's just not a very good attitude to have, in my opinion.
I don't know if something happened before that, but there's nothing with the question that makes him lead down that path. He might be wearing the TYT stuff, and you assume, I don't know. But other than that, that was a good answer.
And when was that lost in your estimation?
I think a lot of it was lost when the Federal Reserve took over the money system.
Wow.
We need to go back to a gold and silver-backed system where currency is
Whoa, she came hard. Let's go. This is my first time watching this.
it counts.
What does make America great again mean to you?
It means stopping the invasion of our nation by illegal immigration. It means rebuilding our economy that's been destroyed by the Biden administration. And it means making us secure in the world again through our strength in the world that keeps the whole world in check.
What does that mean to you, the again part of that? When was it great to you?
Supposed to have been great in the founding era. Then it got changed in the middle 1800s, and I won't go into all the details because that's too long of a story.
But that was slavery and the Civil War.
It's a little different than that because in the late 1800s, the manipulators bought out all the school publishers, and so they changed the narratives.
And so that's when America was great then around that time?
It's supposed to have been great up until, well, maybe up to the time of Andrew Jackson.
And when was it great in your lifetime?
Nobody wants to tell you when America was great again, or America was always great, or America was never great.
Well, let me get to this. What's your point, though? I do. What's your? So you ask, well, when was America great? Well, and the slogan there is again, and you're not bought into the again. It looks like you'll never be bought into the again. That's fine if that's the case. What's your point? What is that not something that's good to strive for, regardless? It's basically trying to make America great. So I mean, I know what it means for me, but and maybe there is a reason to ask the question. To me, it comes across as I'm trying to own somebody instead of having a legitimate, well, I disagree, and here's what I would like to see differently.
Except for the farmer. He kind of let out the secret.
Oh, hell no.
That America was great. The last time America great was when only white people had rights. And that's exactly what Donald Trump meant.
Oh my gosh. I'm not in the mood. So there you have it. There was good stuff on the street. And what I would say is it's very important for all of us to be able to, if you are going to be in front of a microphone, to be able to concisely explain and think through these different, don't go in front of a mic if you haven't thought through these things. It's just not a positive thing. I go through and I listen to, right now, Twitter Spaces is the best place. If you want to find and test your beliefs, go in there, pretend to answer the questions. I do the Tim Pool. I listen to Tim Pool and Elijah Schaefer and all these people every day. I was listening to Tommy Sotomayor, man. That dude is, I hate listening to people that good because they almost make me not want to stream anymore because I'm like, that dude is on orders of magnitude just better. And it was such a great space, though, man. He's like a stand-up comedian that actually makes sense, but it gets you to sharpen your knives. And you really know what your takes are. You can talk about what your concerns are in the Middle East or anywhere else, and you don't have to listen to these black imams try to get you into a race bait.
Middle MAGA.